From Citizen TV, this is the Monday Report with Trevor Ombija.
The Monday Report live on the road. We're from the Kenya Medical Training College, and we're having a fantastic weekend and also a fantastic Monday. Listen, we are here for good reason. IJM launched a report to 2022 to 2024, and in that report, it indicates that 42.9% of Kenyans have experienced some kind of police abuse, from corruption to harassment. A further 62% have not reported those instances because of the trust deficit. So we are going to speak about police reforms and the entire justice system. What more needs to be done to ensure that there's accountability in the justice system? That's the conversation we're having. Joining me later on will be Vincent Chahale. He's the country director, International Justice Mission, that is IJM. Isaac Hassan is the chairman, IPOA, which is the Independent Policing Oversight Authority. Irungu Houghton, executive director, Amnesty International Kenya. And Charles Owino, former police spokesperson, will be speaking to us as well. Send in your views at Trevor Ombija at Citizen TV Kenya. Use the hashtag Citizen Monday Report. That conversation coming up in our town hall. But for now, our top stories tonight.
I don't have any information to the effect that they are in police custody.
We don't know where they are. Uganda police deny holding Kenyan activist Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyo, who were abducted in Kampala last week. LSK president resigns from protest victims compensation panel, citing mounting public outcry and institutional pressure.
Nilianza kutapika damu na kuhara. Mimi ndio nilipitia mengi nikaona kama sitakuwai.
5 dead as health officials scramble to stem a cholera outbreak tearing through Transmara West in Narok County. All eyes on Nairobi as hundreds of exhibitors already setting up ahead of the COMESA summit set to open.
Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Njoki Shege. So tonight we begin our bulletin with the growing mystery surrounding the disappearance of 2 Kenyan activists, Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyo, whom Ugandan police now deny holding in their custody 6 days after they were reportedly abducted by armed men in security uniform in Kampala. Uganda police spokesperson Kituma Ruzoke says there is no formal reports of the abduction and that the two are not being pursued for any offense. In the meantime, 2 Ugandan lawyers have filed a habeas corpus application at the Kampala High Court seeking to compel authorities to produce the missing activist. And as Gatete Njoroge now reports, family members and human rights activists met with Foreign Affairs Principal Secretary Korir Sing'oei in a bid to seek answers over their whereabouts.
6 days after their broad daylight abduction in Kampala, Uganda, authorities have finally broken their silence, sparking renewed concern over the rise of cross-border abductions in the East African region.
Good morning, our viewers.
Uganda police spokesperson Kituma Ruzoke, while addressing the media, defended the police, maintaining that the 2 missing individuals are not in their custody.
I don't have any information to the effect that they are in police custody. Nor do I have any information that they are accused by police. If I had it, I would volunteer it here without any reservations.
Ruzoke says that the alleged abduction has not been formally recorded, saying police have no official reports or documentation of the 2 individuals' disappearance.
I also don't know whether it has been reported formally that they are lost persons or missing persons.
As police maintained their denial of the alleged kidnapping at the High Court's Civil Division in Kampala, 2 lawyers accompanied by human rights activists filed a habeas corpus application seeking to compel Ugandan authorities to produce and release the 2 missing individuals. In the application where Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyo are named as applicants, they want Chief of Defense Forces, Chief of Defense Intelligence and Security, Inspector General of Police and the Attorney General of Uganda to be compelled to produce the 2 activists in court. They also allege that the two are being held at an intelligence facility in Mbuya.
We believe that the reason as why these people were abducted and kidnapped is because they had come to show solidarity with one of the presidential candidates who is in the opposition, Robert Kyagulanyi, and you know the dictator and the Museveni's government are fearful of people that come with that kind of solidarity, the togetherness.
We believe that this is a trend that we cannot sit and just watch. East African leaders have gone ahead to threaten our existence.
In Nairobi, the families of the two missing Kenyans, accompanied by human rights activists, called out both governments, describing the recent wave of cross-border abductions as a systematic attack on civilians that undermines the fundamental principles of the East African community.
We call upon the government of Uganda to disclose their whereabouts and release them without delay. We call upon the government of Kenya to assert its diplomatic responsibility and secure their release.
That despite public outrage and ongoing diplomatic engagement, the two remain held incommunicado, a blatant violation of Ugandan, East African, and international human rights law.
Later, the group met with Foreign Affairs Principal Secretary Korir Sing'oei, who assured them that the government is actively pursuing efforts to secure the release of the two missing Kenyans. Gatete Njoroge, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
And away from that, death toll from cholera outbreak in Transmara, Narok County has now increased to 5. Public officials say that the number of those hospitalized has also risen to 45 as health officials close the eateries and ban sale of food to contain the situation. Crispin Otieno has more.
The latest victim is a mother who has been selling kales within this market. Samples from water sources have since been taken for further analysis from government chemists in Kisumu. At Transmara West Hospital, doctors and nurses here are battling to save lives as dozens of patients stream in for urgent treatment. Inside the wards, children, women and men are all fighting for their lives, hoping for a second chance at life.
Nilianza kutapika damu na kuhara. Mimi ndio nilipitia mengi nikaona kama sitakuwai. Lakini Mungu ametujalia na watu wote wenye wamekuja hapa wamehara hiyo style. Lakini wa madaktari wetu wamewaokoa sana.
Few meters from Ongeri, Alex Lemayan, a 38-year-old, is also in deep thoughts. He narrates what he has undergone over the last 24 hours.
Tumbo ilianza kunisumbua sana. Nikaanza tu kutoka nje. Nikajipata na hara tu kuhara. Nikakaa nikashumu nikakuja nikanua ma flagyls. Nikameza ishi.
The patients presented with a very watery, whitish, some greenish diarrhea and severe vomiting. Several patients came into shock.
A response team comprising of the Narok County government health officers in collaboration with national government officials have been deployed to assess and contain the situation.
Serikali yetu kuu kupitia Wizara ya Afya wanatufanyia continuous testing, wanatupatia technical support. Governor wetu amenunua motorbikes, support.
The outbreak has hit 3 wards including Shankoi Ward, Lolgorian and Kilgoris Central. As a precautionary measure, the health department has temporarily banned the sale of food in open-air markets and hotels and suspended all public gatherings involved in feasting in all the affected areas, including a directive on burials to be conducted in less than 24 hours. As the multi-agency team continues to work around the clock to ensure that they stem further spread of the disease, this is how markets within Kilgoris town center are looking like. They have been flagged as major contributors to the spread of the disease. As cholera outbreak continues to spread across Transmara, health authorities remain on high alert, working to save lives and restore normalcy in the affected communities. Crispino, TNO Citizen TV, Transmara.
Society of Kenya President Faith Odhiambo has tonight resigned as vice chair of the panel of experts on compensation of victims of protest amid mounting public outcry and institutional pressure. In a statement released on Monday, Odhiambo announced that she had formally tendered her immediate resignation to the head of public service, citing limited timelines to deliver meaningful outcomes and the need to explore more effective avenues to pursue justice for victims of police excesses. Ayub Abdikadir has more.
Neither does it belong to broad-based government nor a country of cousins.
She courted controversy following her appointment to the panel on compensation of victims of demonstrations. A move that for many washed away the public admiration she had earned through her vocal advocacy for justice of victims of state excesses during demonstrations against the Finance Bill 2024. And now the 51st president of the Law Society of Kenya has resigned from the panel, citing its failure to address public concerns over police excesses and the long-standing injustices tied to state violence. The Law Society of Kenya's president said she had accepted the role since it offered a chance to reform the country's legal and institutional framework for victim reparations, and which she described as inadequate in addressing historical crisis of police overreach. Citing tight timelines and a pending petition challenging the panel's legality, the LSK president argued that the 120-day mandate is too short to deliver meaningful results, adding that she would instead focus on pursuing alternative avenues to secure justice for victims.
Should my efforts be frustrated or cannot be or undermined,
she has instead proposed a 4-point plan, which includes memorialization of victims, tracking of unreported cases, fast-tracking of ongoing court hearings and their determinations, and petitioning Parliament to review laws governing public demonstrations. Her resignation comes just as the Kerugoya High Court extended conservatory orders, suspending the operations of Professor Makau Mutua-led panel, effectively barring it from carrying out its mandate, pending the determination of a petition challenging its legality.
So I have said that the interim order is extended until then. Then is the 21st of October at 10 a.m.
Her resignation may shield her from the crosshairs of public criticism, but her presidency continues to be defined by uneasy relations with the state and heightened public scrutiny over the society's stance on justice and governance. Ayub Abdikadir, Citizen TV.
6 people charged with conspiring to defraud the Social Health Authority have pleaded not guilty and were released on bond. According to the charge sheet, the suspects are accused of falsifying records and filing fraudulent claims mounting to over 2 million shillings. As Laura Otieno now reports, defense lawyers' attempts to have some of the charges dropped were rejected, with the court insisting that it has full jurisdiction over the matter.
Jambo Jipya Medical Clinic.
Appearing before Chief Magistrate Lucas Onyina on Monday, Patrick Kanya, Faith Chepkirui, Stephen Ojwang, Justine Baraka, Pauline Wanjiru, Naida Mbevu and Jambo Jipya Medical Clinic faced multiple charges, including conspiracy to commit a felony, forgery and uttering false documents.
The directors are present.
The prosecution alleges that the accused conspired to alter and falsify medical records, leading to fraudulent claims totaling 2,032,680 shillings being paid out by the Social Health Authority between November 2024 and June 2025. In one instance, the first and second accused are alleged to have caused the Social Health Authority to pay 30,000 shillings by falsely claiming that a patient who had a normal delivery had instead undergone a cesarean section.
That it can be determined that an offense has...
Other charges include the forgery of clinical notes and inpatient records, which the prosecution says were falsified and submitted to the Social Health Authority as genuine documents to facilitate payment.
The court lacks jurisdiction to entertain the said counts
Before taking plea, the defense sought to have some charges dismissed, arguing that the court lacked jurisdiction.
You can see what is going on.
However, Chief Magistrate Lucas Onyina dismissed the application, ruling that the court was properly seized of the matter.
Jambo Jipya Medical Clinic.
The accused were released on bonds ranging between 200,000 and 600,000 shillings. The case will be mentioned on October 21st this year. Laura Otieno, Citizen TV.
Now, reports of newborn deaths at the Kiambu Level 4 hospital have deepened the standoff between the Doctors Union KMPDU and the Council of Governors, with both sides now trading blame. In a meeting held on Monday, COG chairperson Ahmed Abdullahi dismissed the reports as a witch hunt intended to discredit the gains made under devolution. This comes even as Citizen TV independently verified some of the reported deaths now at the center of the growing dispute between doctors and county leaders. Laura Otieno has more.
Days after reports surfaced of more than 100 newborn deaths at Kiambu Level 4 Hospital, deaths allegedly linked to the ongoing doctor strike, the Council of Governors has come out guns blazing, accusing the Doctors Union KMPDU of exaggerating the figures. Speaking during a meeting at the COG headquarters on Monday, Council Chairperson Ahmed Abdullahi dismissed the reported figures, terming them a deliberate attempt to discredit the gains achieved through devolution. He further alleged that there is a coordinated effort to push for the reversal of health function back to the national government.
The Council disassociates from the headline about the death of 136 babies and categorically states that it is not factual. We urge the Ministry of Health and KMPDU to stop politicizing health and leave the level of government with the mandate to run it.
This, however, did not sit well with the union, prompting a sharp and scathing response from KMPDU. In a letter signed by the Secretary General Dr. Davji Atela, the union demanded an immediate withdrawal of the sentiments by the COG, independent investigations to an alleged 131 deaths of the children at the facility, and a dissolution of the Kiambu County Government. Citizen TV has obtained files of 34 patients who are at the Kiambu Level 4 hospital between May and August this year, with random calls to 7 of the patients confirming they lost their babies at the facility. Even with the push and pull between the county chiefs and Doctors Union, the undisputed fact remains the struggle of residents of Kiambu to access quality health care 130 days into the doctor strike. Laura Otieno, Citizen TV.
And now to some tragic news. 2 pupils at Emmanuel New Life Academy in Nairobi's Kayole Estate have died after debris from a neighboring construction site collapsed on them. 2 other learners sustained serious injuries in the incident and are currently receiving treatment in critical condition at the Kenyatta National Hospital. Franklin Wala has more.
On Monday, tragedy struck at Emmanuel New Life Learning Center in Nairobi's Kayole Estate. As pupils were preparing to take their lunch break, debris from a neighboring construction site suddenly came crashing down. The impact struck 4 pupils, killing 2 on the spot. The other 2 pupils sustained severe injuries and remain admitted at KNH in critical condition.
Nimefika mimi nikapata watoto hayuko shule, nikaenda mahali mawe imeanguka, nimepata tu imeanguka hapo, ni plot jirani imeangukia watoto wakinawa mikono kwa hiyo shule.
The debris reportedly fell from a story building under construction on the 3rd floor, even though the lower floors were already occupied. Witnesses who rushed to the scene say at least 4 to 5 heavy concrete blocks came crashing down on the learners. Investigations are now underway to determine the factors that may have led to the tragedy.
Mimi ni jirani hapo na tuna shida ya kujua mwenyewe nyumba ni nani na tujue kwa nini aliweka hizo mawe zimehang, na secondly tungesaka kujua engineer wa hiyo nyumba alikuwa nani.
There were 4. First they were rushed to a nearby dispensary, but they were later referred to Mama Lucy, whereby upon arrival 2 of them were pronounced dead. 2 of them, as we speak, have been transferred to Kenyatta Hospital. And
parents of the affected pupils have been left devastated by the tragedy. Those who spoke briefly said they were waiting for guidance from the school and the authorities on the next course of action. Franklin Wala, Citizen TV.
Now, Kenya is urging the European Union to create a more predictable and stable trading environment for businesses, noting that frequent changes to the market entry requirements are straining businesses. Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe said constant shifts in compliance rules by the EU member states make it very difficult for producers to plan, invest and maintain consistency in export quality and timelines. Jimmy Mbogo has more.
Speaking during the 18th COMESA Business and Exhibition Forum ahead of the Head of State Summit, Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture highlighted key bottlenecks faced by Kenyan exporters in seeking access to the European market. Kagwe noting that frequent regulatory changes have made it difficult for producers to remain consistent in export quality and timelines, especially those in horticultural sector.
Owing to recent challenges with stricter European market entry requirement, the government is strengthening compliance systems as well as seeking out new markets in other areas of the world.
In 2024, Kenya's horticultural export stood at over $1.06 billion, an equivalent to $137 billion, with flowers, fruits and vegetables shipped to more than 70 countries. Cut flowers remain Kenya's flagship, accounting for over 40% of all roses sold in the European Union, generating over 72 billion shillings in earnings. Avocado exports reached 128,000 metric tons, making Kenya Africa's leading avocado exporter, while vegetables such as bean and peas continue to support smallholder farmers across the country, with the CS remaining bullish that earnings from the horticultural sector will continue to rise.
You have seen the growth in avocado, growing very quickly. And we have no doubt that avocado is going to be one of the key, export crops in the future. So with that kind of ecosystem that we have, it simply tells you that we have huge opportunities. All we need to do is partner properly with the regions, the rest of the world, the European Union, and then we expand growth. But also of importance is the issue of value adding our products, because we, as much as possible, want to add value to each and every agricultural product that we are producing. If we add value, we create jobs.
On her part, COMESA Secretary General Chilise Kapwepwe noted that horticultural exports from COMESA member states to the European Union are valued at $3.37 billion and aligning the sector's central role in driving export-led growth. The week-long forum is set to explore more ways of unlocking regional, continental and global growth for member states. Jimmy Mbogo, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
Now, the journey to the present-day COMESA began 60 years ago, catalyzed by the collapse of the East African Community. The plan now is a free trade area that covers the EAC and SADC regional blocks, while simultaneously working toward a continent-wide free trade area. But the impediments to the common market abound as the world shifts away from multilateralism to pluralism.
A preferential trade area that would gradually usher in a continent-wide free market.
The East African Community, which had been in operation since 1967, collapsed in 1977. And immediately on the heels of this collapse, the leaders of Eastern and Southern Africa, the late President Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, Kenneth Kaunda, including Julius Nyerere and others, decided then to revive East African Community, but at a larger scale.
And thus, the preferential trade area for Eastern and Southern Africa was established in 1981.
So informed by the bitter experience of the collapse of East African Community, the leaders started then with the gradualism being really the theme for integration, but also right at the beginning, when it was established, only 6 of us were recruited from the then 17 countries which were members to start the organization.
On the 8th of December 1994, the PTA transformed into the Common Market for East and Southern Africa.
We embarked on now realizing that next milestone of the free trade area. And so that was launched on October 31st, the year 2000, with 9 countries fully satisfying the conditions of a free trade area. And today, there are 16 countries that are trading quota-free, duty-free.
A feather on the cap of Mwencha, who served as Secretary General of COMESA from 1998 to 2008.
There were some of those fears that were vocalized, like countries always worry about loss of government revenue. The second one is competition that would affect existing production assets. And the third one, of course, is the more advanced countries perhaps would dominate and overshadow the weaker countries so that they just simply become a market.
A situation Mwencha negotiated at COMESA.
When the free trade area was launched in 2000, Kenya realized immediately that the sugar industry was not going to be able to compete.
Connectivity, time and again, proving itself an obstacle to integration of the continent, as Mwencha experienced.
And we started the process of saying, there's so much maize in Uganda at X price, and the maize in Zambia is X plus Y. So why don't we bring that maize? Now, starting to bring it, first of all, you have to bring it either by truck or by rail from Uganda to Mombasa. Get a ship that is going to take to Durban in South Africa. And then from Durban, South Africa, bring it by road all the way to Zambia.
Non-tariff barriers, a roadblock to integration.
You can't arrive at the border, even if you are able to pay the duty, the standards may not conform. You'll be told this wood cannot enter here.
Mwencha taking the view that the prevailing geopolitical environment that undermines multilateralism has made COMESA even more necessary today than at inception. Olive Burrows, Citizen TV.
We're taking a quick break here on the Monday Report from the KMTC. Later on, when we come back, we'll have a conversation on the IJM 2022-2024 report that indicates that close to half of Kenyans, that is 42.9%, have experienced some form of police abuse of power through corruption or even harassment. A further 62% do not report because of the trust deficit. That's a conversation I'll be having with my panelists here later on. Vincent Chahale is the Country Director, International Justice Mission, that's IJM. Isaac Hassan, the Chairman, IPOA, that is Independent Policing Oversight Authority. Jedaida Waroiho will be joining us. She's the CEO, Witness Protection Agency. Irungu Houghton, Executive Director, Amnesty International Kenya. And Charles Owino, former police spokesperson in that capacity, will be speaking to us on the reforms that have been done in the police sector and the entire justice system. We'd also like to hear from you. But it's a jam-packed bulletin. In our headquarters in Nairobi, Olive Burrows is standing by with a conversation on Nyota. Olive, what do you expect?
That's right. We'll be gleaning more on the project, the National Youth Opportunities Towards Advancement, with the Principal Secretary, Susanna Mangeni. She's the Principal Secretary of MSMEs. So plenty to look forward to on the Monday Report. But first, a break.
Government unveils 5 billion shillings National Youth Empowerment Initiative, and we are live with MSME's PS Susan Mangeni.
Make your home a signature home. Introducing Lifestyle Steel Stone Coated Roofing Tiles, where roofing excellence is backed by a lifetime guarantee from Mabati Rolling Mills.
Niliwaambia. Halo. Niletee kama kawaida.
Kama sio Kavagara, wacha kiumane.
chapati ni tamu sana.
Omera, sere bila Kavagara, sio sere.
Dukani usitishe unga, itisha Kavagara.
Do you got a peace of mind I can borrow? We living for today, are you thinking about tomorrow? The sunshine in the morning time make you smile. The wind blowing kisses on your face, you'll be fine. We'll be alright, promise we'll be okay. Let's meet up on planet Earth, just promise you won't be late. A million people got their hands in the air. You believe it, I believe it now. Everybody say,
I've got the power!
Life is a series of pursuits.
A journey to achieve goals for yourself and for your family. It's how you build your legacy.
Because in this pursuit of excellence, we understand that greatness lies in the choices we make.
Make your home a signature home with Lifestyle. Introducing Lifestyle steel stone coated roofing tiles, where roofing excellence is backed by a lifetime guarantee from Mabati Rolling Mills.
Mimi nasema ugali ya Lea haikuwangi complicated. Ukienda kwa duka tu, ukienda kwa super tu, kwa afya bora ya jamii, ungapoa ni Lea tu.
Guys, mwezeni wait?
Bei ya Lea Premium, si complicated. Kupika Lea Premium, si complicated. Unabai, unapika, unashiba. Lea Premium.
Lea Premium Flour, nurturing the world. Available in a store near you.
Sometimes I need a fragrance to keep me calm, stays fresh in the heat and feels elegant into the night, lasting longer than expensive perfumes. New Downy, lavender calm, sunrise fresh and sweet elegance, freshness that inspires confidence.
You're probably wondering how I got here. This was me. Nimeboeka. Then nikabuy Be-Live Time Bundle. My 1 hour kuwa online bila wasi. And my time turned from just kawa, ikakuwa lit. Nika go live, nili nice na TikTok, IG, Snap, na nikahang na Mamorio. Manzo ukiwa na Be-Live, time is on your side. Hadi beats zina slap me different. Nikaanza kuzitoka, nika trend online, kushuka matu hivi. Mafans wakatokea, tukajiaji.
Bumping at the crew, express yourself any place una
Buy the new Be-Live Time Bundle. Dial *544#.
This Tuesday, Citizen TV brings you live coverage from Busia County. The National Treasury Cabinet Secretary Honorable FCPA John Mbadi launches the capacity building program for directors of planning in the national and county government and unveils the second annual progress report of the fourth medium-term plan 2023 to 2027. The Prime Cabinet Secretary and CS Foreign and Diaspora Affairs Honorable Musalia Mudavadi will grace the event as the chief guest. In attendance will be Right Honorable Raila Odinga, Right Honorable Amason Kingi and Honorable Dr. Moses Wetangula. Don't miss this historic moment, live from Busia County, this Tuesday only on Citizen TV.
Welcome back to the Monday Report live from KMTC. Now on day 2 of the Senate Mashinani sessions, members of the Kenya Women Senators Association, KEWOSA, took their outreach deep into the villages to address the rising triple threat facing women in the country. Now the team led by Senator Veronica Maina visited St. James Kwangamor High School in Teso South constituency, where they engaged students on preventive measures to curb the growing cases of teenage pregnancies, new HIV infections and gender-based violence across the country.
Kenya women senators are moving beyond the rhetoric and they are taking part in helping the nation and our communities to eliminate the 3 threats. That is HIV, new infections of HIV, adolescent pregnancy, and sexual and gender-based violence.
Ukiona anything which is not good for the family, for you yourself, you have to say no, and someone can, because mtoto ni a society.
Now here's something Olive will be talking about in just a bit. So Principal Secretaries took all 47 counties Monday to lead the rollout of the National Youth Opportunities Towards Advancement, that is NYOTA project. The PSs met with governors, MPs, MCAs and local administrators to sensitize leaders and the youth on the initiative, which aims to empower hundreds of young people across the country. The program, launched in partnership with the World Bank, will see 50,000 Kenya shillings grants awarded to young people nationwide.
Youth unemployment in Kenya poses a significant challenge. In response to this, the government has introduced the NYOTA project, a 5-year initiative aimed at tackling youth joblessness and boosting income opportunities. 70 young people from each of the 1,450 wards nationwide will be awarded grants of 50,000 Kenya shillings. Principal secretaries were deployed to all counties Monday for sensitization on the program's implementation at county level. In Homa Bay, Interior Principal Secretary Dr. Raymond Omolo emphasized that the initiative seeks to empower young people, particularly those who did not progress to institutions of higher learning but may be skilled in different crafts, to set up businesses.
The resources that these youths will lay their hands on, part of it needs to go into their savings so that then they are able to better plan their lives for future, but also for as a social safety net for themselves, but also the country.
In Uasin Gishu County, PS for Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, Susan Mangeni, said the NYOTA beneficiaries would mostly comprise young Kenyans with low social capital.
The final selection will be dependent on how you perform on entrepreneurial aptitude test, where you are taken through some exercise, some few questions just to gauge at the level of your understanding in the sector that you want to take in.
A similar exercise was carried out in Kirinyaga County, led by Principal Secretary, State Department for Public Health, Mary Modoni.
The youths that are being targeted is the ages of 18 to 29 years. And if you're a PWD, now PWD is that person who has a certificate that you're a PWD. Then we will go up to the age of 35 years. And the target education is Form 4 and below.
The sensitization exercise was carried out across all 47 counties.
For those who have some debts in Hustler Fund, also may not qualify. So that's the first process, that's the first stage. After that, between 13th and 14th, there'll be a very rigorous validation process that will identify the people who will have qualified as per those requirements. After that, on 17th, the list of those who have qualified will be announced.
Lillian Muli, Citizen TV.
Let's get more details on the NYOTA initiative, and I'll take you back to our RMS headquarters in Nairobi, where Olive Barres is standing by. Olive?
Thanks, Trevor. And as I stated earlier, I'm now joined by the Principal Secretary for MSMEs, Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, Susan Mangeni. Karibu sana.
Thank you, Olive.
So I'm looking at this list of PSs who are dispatched today to sensitize the youth on the National Youth Opportunities Towards Advancement program. Yeah. And I see you were scheduled to be in Turkana?
Yeah, I was in Uasin Gishu, and then also I went to Turkana.
Okay. Yeah. So why the PSs? Why is it the PSs who are undertaking this sensitization?
Yeah, first of all, thank you for giving me this opportunity so we can sort of do a wrap-up. First, I want to thank my colleagues who came out to support us, to support the Ministry of Youth, Ministry of MSMEs, as well as Ministry of Labour in rolling out this program, especially the very important component or aspect of sensitizing the mashinane across the country. Why the PSS? Because the PSS do execution, and it's a whole of government approach. And matters of youth, and especially youth unemployment, is a big concern to all of us. The sectors that we drive in our government are sectors that have got direct impact to the youth. So we reached out to them and said, in the interest of time, because we need to reach out to as many young people as we can, and when we have an opportunity, we cannot postpone it because we don't have enough capacity or adequate capacity to go to each and every county. So we reached out to His Excellency the President, who through his wise and inspiring leadership mobilized PSS together, and all of us were then dispatched to go to our mashinani areas to speak the local language, local context, interact with them, because this project targets young people from each and every ward. And it's not just the business support that we're rolling out today. It has got 3 components. Maybe I know.
No, go ahead.
We have very limited time. But you want to look at this program as the largest job creation pipeline this country has ever had, that targets young people from disadvantaged background, vulnerable youth, marginalized from across the country.
And how will you identify them?
And so, number one...
Through Ngao or? No,
not through Ngao. So to apply, first of all, we leveraging on the strides we made in the technology space, especially mobile technology spread. You're aware that each and every corner of this country, we have very good coverage of mobile network and mobile, and quite each and every household, at least they have a phone, whether it's a feature, mulika mwizi, or a smartphone. So it's your own individual effort. So you dial *254#, which is a 0-rated channel, and no airtime. Even if you have Okoa Jahazi, you can still access. After you've dialed, this is the financial inclusion platform that is so popular with majority of Kenyans that have benefited from the Hustler Fund. Then you select, there are a number of options there, you select Nyota. From there, you choose the track which you want to lead you to business support. There are 3 tracks there. We have business support, we have recognition of prior learning. So in the recognition of prior learning, what we seek to achieve is to recognize existing skill among our young people. Some of them could have gained these skills maybe informally, or maybe they grew up seeing their parents or their relatives within their space doing certain kind of, things like, let's say, a plumber, if you were a parent to a plumber, or it was a carpenter, and you were observing. So you were able to gain those skills. And so what you lack...
But you do require certification.
Yeah, you require certification. So what is standing between you and accessing a job, a meaningful job, is lack of certificate. So this program will then assess the skill sets that you have, and then will give you a formal certification through TVET, and also as well through NITA. NITA now will come and assess your skills, and through TVET, then you get that certificate that will increase your chances of getting employed. Then the other track is the on-job experience. And here, we know of quite a number of people who you attach them to an industry and get to learn on job as they earn. And with time, after they have acquired sufficient skills, sufficient experience, then they get retained in that industry. So we are working with business owners, with companies, to take up these young people who have shown interest in certain sectors, but they just lack experience. Like, for example, a good sector is like a salon. We see many young girls, they get into that industry, they learn on jobs, and with time they become expert and they can drive their own trade there.
So there's no limit to that number?
So I'll give you, the recognition of prior learning, and we have a policy which is anchoring that. Already we are implementing that policy to give them, to certify those existing skills so that then they can be able to be competitive in the job market. So we are targeting to benefit 20,000 young people across the country in each and every ward. On job experience, we are targeting 90,000 young people aged between 18 to 29 and up to 35 for persons with disability. And again, when it comes to gender, this project offers equal opportunities 50-50. And then for business support, this is now where we want to create 100,000 entrepreneurs and to prove to the world that entrepreneurs in Kenya are not just born, but they can also be made.
So I see here you're helping 100,000 youth start businesses, 70 per ward, each getting 50,000. Is this a loan or what is this?
It is a grant. So what you're going to do, and before you talk even about the grant, I know many people are talking about the grant. part of it. But we want to talk about the mentorship and the skilling and the business development support that these young people are going to be given. So we begin by training. We go through classroom training, and after that training, you are then, brought into an ecosystem, a business support ecosystem. You're handheld, you're counseled, you're supported all that you need, so that then you can get to hone your business idea and launch it properly, so that, and then we giving you that 50,000 is just a seed capital to help you. And then when you exist in that ecosystem, now you are in a space where you can access linkages to enhanced financing, linkages to sustainable markets. You will be supported through enhanced capacity building, so that then you can get to grow your business, to create your job, but then also to create jobs for other young
create
people.
Employment. And I see here 600,000 to be trained on how to win government tenders under AGPO. But quickly, this is funded by who? The Kenyan government, World Bank? Is it a loan we have taken from World Bank?
So
what are the terms?
So the grant part of it, it's a grant. So it has two components. It has the loan component, and this is usually at concessional loans, very, very, very affordable. Right, very, very affordable rate. And then there is the ones we're giving us 50,000 that comes in as a grant. We're also giving a stipend to the on-job experience beneficiaries, because they will need transport to go there. So each one of them will be earning at least 6,000 every month to facilitate them to move from their home to the industry where they are going to learn on job. And all this is a grant. But then the loan component is concessional. And whenever it's concessional, it's usually very flexible.
So how much is the loan component? How much is the grant?
So the grant is about 8 billion, and the rest is the loan component, because then it's also supporting not just the 5 billion for granting for business support, but I've also talked about the 90,000 on job experience, who then will also be taking in about 6,000 every month. But also in addition to that, you're also promoting savings among young people. So there will be 12% mandatory saving. This is very important. And out of 50,000 for business support, that will be about 6,000 that will be saved. 30% will go for short term, 70% will go for long term. But we want to encourage our young people to start becoming conscious about their future, so that they also de-risk their business, because that's also one of the attributes of a good business person. And if they start saving well, we will be matching up as a government on a ratio to 2 to 1. So you save 2 shillings, we match you up with 1. So the matching up is also coming in as part of the grant component.
Okay, so thank you for those insights. There's a lot, clearly. We will have to invite you back to studio to get into all of those details. But for now, we cross over to Trevor Ombija. Trevor, back to you.
Thanks, Olive. Olive Barros there, speaking to PS Mangeni live from our headquarters on the Nyota Initiative. Now going on with more stories here. Kenya Power has launched new digital platforms aimed at improving customer experience and service efficiency across all the 47 counties. Speaking during the launch in Nairobi as part of the Customer Service Week, Engineer Rosemary Oduor said the innovations, including the My Power app, an official WhatsApp channel, and an intelligent chat box, will allow customers to buy tokens instantly, report outages, track restorations, and receive digital receipts in both English and Swahili. The utility company says that the move supports its 2023-2028 strategic plan focused on customer satisfaction, operational excellence, and financial sustainability.
In addition, for the landlords, they have had difficulty managing many accounts. We have given them a provision to nickname their accounts. If you want to say Wanjiko Wamboga, Butchery Man, you can name your accounts as such. And therefore, when you look at your accounts, it will be easy to determine how your accounts are performing, how your different tenants are performing, and you're able also to group them. We have given a facility for the landlords to group them and also to monitor the performance, so that they're able to well see how their many customers or their many tenants are managing their supply and managing their bill payments. So these features are features that have been demanded by our customers, and we are responding to that demand. And we believe it will be a game changer, reducing our traffic and at the same time improving the customer convenience.
All right, on that note, we're taking another break here on the Monday Report. When we come back, I'll take you through some business news and then run you through some sporting action. And right after that, we'll get into the conversation on how to enhance justice system response to police accountability. This is coming after a report by IJM on 2022-2024 that indicates that close to half of Kenyans, that is 42.9%, have witnessed some kind of police abuse of power, from harassment to corruption. A further 62% do not report those incidents. Why? Because of the lack of trust or the trust deficit. So how then do we fix the system? That's a question we'd like you to also help us answer. Trevor Mbijak, Citizen TV Kenya. Use the hashtag Citizen Monday Report. But right after that, these are the guests we're expecting. Vincent Chahale, Country Director, International Justice Mission, that is the IJM. Isaka San, the Chairman, IPOA, Independent Policing Oversight Authority, will be here. Jedaida Waroyo, CEO, Witness Protection Agency, and Irungu Houghton, Executive Director, Amnesty International Kenya, and Charles Owino, former police spokesperson. But coming up after the break, some business and then sports. All right, see you shortly. Kenya hosts partners and agencies to strengthen country's capacity to engage credit rating agencies.
Make your home a signature home. Introducing Lifestyle Steel Stone Coated Roofing Tiles, where roofing excellence is backed by a lifetime guarantee from Mabati Rolling Mills.
For over 30 years, CAMESA has advanced cross-border trade, uniting 21 nations and 560 million people under a trusted trade and investment framework that protects farmers, traders, industrialists, and investors. From October 6th to 9th, join us in Nairobi for the 24th CAMESA Summit and Trade Exhibition and unlock new opportunities in the common market for Eastern and Southern Africa.
Got me so fresh, so clean, yes, I owe it to Flamingo. So glowing softness, all the moisture, yeah. Bigger shower, ngarana, Flamingo. So Flamingo, so what do you like to call Flamingo? Flamingo, for your beauty and hand washing needs. Flamingo, so own your glow with Flamingo, so.
Life is a series of pursuits.
A journey to achieve goals for yourself and for your family. It's how you build your legacy.
Because in this pursuit of excellence, we understand that greatness lies in the choices we make.
Make your home a signature home with Lifestyle. Introducing Lifestyle Steel Stone Coated Roofing Tiles, where roofing excellence is backed by a lifetime guarantee from Mabati Rolling Mills.
Teke na Wigo Boda. Chanua Jam, fika on time at the lowest charges in town. Wear helmet and ride in style. Ni safi, ni safe, na ni easy kwa mfuko yako. Wigo, your trusted ride. Download the app now. Ama SMS Wigo to 20425. You'll fike right on time. Wigo, your trusted ride.
Meet Mr. Aloe and Sweaty Max. Switch to Aloe deodorants. Naturally derived ingredients, no aluminum salts, and long-lasting freshness. Because life's too short to be the before guy. From Tropical Brands.
Explore the nature and create from it. The spirit of inventors leads to the inspiration for new technology. By drawing nature's energy, we create the extraction tech. Small in size, huge in power. Millions of microcapsules condense the essence of nature. Join us, Cleasoft Invent for Life.
Whenever you fly to space or take your first step as baby, Soft Care always stays with you.
New SoftCare Space Series is rooted from space technology. Keeps you dry and comfortable for 12 hours long. Offers you the most effective protection during your space journey.
SoftCare. Protect your leap.
Wrap your whole family in a long-lasting embrace. Our sensory range transforms your daily self-care into sensorial delight. Our men's range is built to elevate your grooming routine. Imperial Leather, long-lasting luxury for you.
Kujieni, nataka kuunite Kenyans. Nataka kuambia kwamba together as one tuko na logbook loan. Wewe kuja na original logbook yako, sisi tutakupea 70% value ya gari yako, ulipa na 3 years, no CRB check. Alafu kwa asset finance nayo, kuja na 30% identify gari yako, sisi tutakupea a whooping 70%. Alafu kukumbuka pia tuko na import duty financing, 100% financing. Ni rahisi kama kununua unga sasa.
Ready to study abroad? Your journey starts with the S3 Education Study Abroad Fairs. Join us in Kapsabet, Monday 6th October, Allen's Hotel, Eldoret, Wednesday 8th October, Eka Hotel, and Nairobi, Saturday 11th October, Sarit Expo Center, from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Entry is absolutely free. Meet top universities from across the globe. Get free expert guidance, visa tips, and on-spot applications. Call 0750-594-444 or visit s3education.com. S3 Education, with you every step of the way.
Mrs. Garcia and her daughters. Creyendo ciegamente en sus promesas, no le deseo a nadie mi experiencia. Abandonado y dando pena.
Business News, brought to you by Safaricom Business.
Tukitaka kugrow zaidi, we choose partners with solutions that get us there. You could also power your progress. Join Safaricom Business today. Power your progress at business.safaricom.co.ke.
Time now for some business news, and Kenya is pushing to achieve an investment-grade credit rating as part of efforts to reduce borrowing costs and attract investors. Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Mbadi says that Kenya's current ratings have had an effect on the country's risk perception and led to high borrowing costs, but recent upgrades will be a significant boost to the target set. Speaking in Mombasa at this year's credit rating workshop in partnership with UNDP, the government of Japan and other agencies, Mbadi says the economy grew by 5% in the second quarter of 2025 and is projected to reach 5.3% next year. CS Mbadi says that the reforms instituted will reduce public debt to GDP ratio to 55%, which should in turn improve investor confidence.
To be the one-stop shop where they are going to have all the information, all the data, and engaging directly so that we communicate the correct macros, the correct fundamentals of the economy. That if you compare us to some of the countries which have jumped to investment grade ratings, like Botswana, like Mauritius, all those countries, it is only Morocco which has a bigger GDP than Kenya.
They are the one who will be able to accelerate and to finance their development. And that's where this credit rating comes as an important factor, because if the government is borrowing domestically and internationally in better conditions, that means that it's also improving its fiscal space. And that fiscal space is absolutely instrumental in financing development.
African countries are stepping up efforts to make livestock farming more sustainable and climate friendly. Scientists, policymakers and industry leaders met in Nairobi for the first time ever International Greenhouse Gas and Animal Agriculture Conference to be held in Africa. Now, the 3-day conference has brought together over 500 delegates to discuss ways of reducing greenhouse gas emissions from livestock while improving food security and farmer incomes. Experts say Africa, which is home to a third of the world's livestock, plays a crucial role in finding practical solutions.
Africa's contribution to greenhouse gases is not so much, but if you look at the emissions of each country, because all of our countries have a lot of agriculture and livestock production, the part of animal agriculture emissions on the national emissions for countries are quite large. And because population is supposed to grow and double by 2050, we're going to expect that emissions also go up if we don't do something right now and have better animal production that can reduce emissions and increase productivity.
This conference is specifically for animal agriculture systems, so it is going to bring some solutions or research findings that contribute to the development of sustainable livestock systems that target improving productivity by mitigating greenhouse gases emissions.
As Kenya's multi-billion beauty and cosmetics industry continues to expand due to increased demand for products, entrepreneurs are going an extra mile to come up with solutions addressing specific needs in the industry. Journey Beauty is one of the enterprises producing a wide range of beauty products targeting both businesses and individuals across the country. Edward Chwea has more.
At this factory in Tigoni, it is all work. From tests in the laboratory to labeling and final checks. This is Journey Beauty, a venture founded by Petra Somen to make different beauty products.
I founded it in 2021 around COVID times. And I also own a business called Serenity Spa. I used to import products from Europe, UK, etc. When COVID happened, I realized that there is a bit of a gap in terms of what can we do locally without always also importing products from the UK or Europe. And the idea came, why don't we do it ourselves? We can do it even better.
Initially, Petra started small with soaps and body washes for her spa, but Journey Beauty has since added more products to Journey's offering.
Now we do body washes, shampoos, conditioners, we do skincare, we do candles, we do diffusers, we do a lot more. We're going to open a retail shop soon in Village Market as well. So the journey has been really fantastic and a lot to learn.
Fred Washira, the production manager, says they source most of the raw materials from within the Tigoni area.
Some of the raw materials that we do source locally are something like tea leaves or tea powder that we have surrounding us here in Tigoni. We also source something like rose water that we get from flowers as well. We do production. After production, before any bottling, we make sure that we test the product through some in-house tests that were dictated, obviously are dictated by KEBS. We collaborated with an outside party laboratory that does our microbial testing on our products, and that usually takes around 3 days. And once we have the results back, then we have the green light to proceed and package the product.
Petra says they are big on the quality of the products they make and have partnered with local outlets to make their products available to their target customers.
We look that actually everything is followed properly. We have all the regulations. We check that the quality of our ingredients are excellent. We have partners like Healthy You, Good Life, Langata Link, lots of outlets. We do an online shop, so through our website. And then we've also partnered up with over 150 hotels and lodges.
Petra appreciates that customers have embraced the Journey products, and now she looks forward to adding to the range of products she makes to serve more customers.
The next step is we're going to probably launch other products like detergents and maybe a baby range or a pregnancy range. We want to go beyond Kenya. We want to supply Tanzania, all our neighboring countries, Rwanda, Uganda, etc., Ethiopia, and then hopefully we'll go international one day.
Edward Chwea, Made in Kenya, Citizen TV.
Business News, brought to you by Safaricom Business.
Tukitaka kugrow zaidi, we choose partners with solutions that get us there. You could also power your progress. Join Safaricom Business today. Power your progress at business.safaricom.co.ke.
Time now for some sporting action, and Bidco United pulled off another surprise result when they beat Nairobi United 1-0 in the Kenya Premier League match played at the St. Sebastian Park in Murang'a. Bidco started the match on a high and surprised Nairobi United with a second-minute goal. Nairobi United took time to settle but could not penetrate the solid wall put up by Bidco United. Bidco have a 100% record with 2 wins out of 2 matches. Harambee Stars coach Benny McCarthy has called on his charges to show their worth when they take on Burundi and Ivory Coast in the final 2 matches of the 2026 World Cup qualifiers this week. Harambee Stars play Burundi away on Thursday, then play Ivory Coast 4 days later in Abidjan. McCarthy says these are tough matches away from home that should test the Harambee Stars' progress since he took over as head coach. Ivory Coast will be even a bigger match as they are on the verge of qualifying for the World Cup if they win that match. Key for the technical bench is not to make the same mistakes they did in the first leg.
For us, we go in there to play a match against a team that we want to win. We want to earn 3 points. And that's our task, our objective. And for us to lose, we have to lose to a team that we knew we had no opportunities, no possibilities of winning the game. That's the only way.
I believe it's a much more good opportunity for us also to go and test ourselves, outside there and to play, of course, with such a good team in their home background. It's going to be a real test also for us.
Kenya Premier League side Bandari FC have appointed Moroccan Mohamed Boji as the new head coach to take over from Ken Odhiambo, who was fired last week. Boji, who is a former Wydad Casablanca striker, has signed a 1-year deal with the Port team beginning immediately. Now, Boji has come with an assistant, Tariq Bendamao, who also takes over from Jean Baraza, who was in charge of the Bandari team for 1 match over the weekend. A 3-1 win over Murang'a Seal in the Kenya Premier League, and Borji has no time to rest as he takes over training this week ahead of the ODM at 20 tournament to be played over the weekend. Bandari take on AFC Leopards in the semi-finals, with Gor Mahia playing Shabana in the other semi-finals. Bandari will also play AFC Leopards in the Kenya Premier League after the international break. Now, veteran golfer Dismas Indiza was in sublime form to fire 12 under par 280 to win his first professional golfers of Kenya Equator Tour title in Nakuru. In the absence of the tour leader Greg Snow, who had won the previous 3 rounds of the tour, Indiza started round 1 in second position, then took over in round 2 and led all the way to the end of the Nakuru leg. Samuel Joroge and Justus Madayo tied for second position with a total score of 10 under par 282, 2 strokes behind the leader. Vipingo Golf Club's Naomi Wafula, the only accredited PGK Lady Pro, finished in 17th position.
Siku ya kwanza nilicheza 2 under, siku ya pili ndiko nikasema hapana, waje nikae ngumu nione bila napambana, nikacheza 5 under. Sasa nikasema hapa mwenye atanitoa atakuwa mwanaume. Sasa sina ubaya naye, lakini baka lazima tukue tunacheza na tukacheza na Madoa jana. Madoa akacheza mzuri kabisa, lakini mimi nikakuwa tu nyuma yake, akacheza 4 under, mimi nikacheza 3 under.
So when I came here, I wanted to be top 5. I said this time I will keep my head down to be there at top, and I've done it.
And Boca Juniors reached the top of the Argentine League, easing to a 5-0 home win over Newell's Old Boys early this morning in Buenos Aires on a match day that also saw River Plate lose 2-1 to Rosario Central. With the match day 11 victory, Boca Juniors reached 17 points in the Group A standings and are now tied for the lead with Union and Barracas Central. At La Bombera, Boca grabbed an early lead with a double from Milton Jimenez in the 7th and 24th minutes and a tally from Aiton Costa in the 32nd. Right, we're taking a quick break here on KMTC. When we come back, I'll be on the town hall session where we're talking about how to hold the justice system response to police accountability and how to have that accountability instilled in the justice system. That's the conversation we are having right after all the reports that came through. There's still a lot that needs to be done. At Trevor Mbiji at Citizen TV Kenya, use the hashtag Citizen Monday Report. See you on the town hall session right after this break.
On the town hall tonight, IJM report reveals that close to half of Kenyans have experienced some form of police abuse. Tonight, we discuss the justice system response to police accountability.